Hi, my name is Ron Wood. I'm the founder of Pricing Insight. Today I'm going to talk to you about some of the techniques that procurement teams use to lower your prices if you're selling products or services to large companies. What you see here is a quadrant, and this quadrant is used by procurement functions to categorize what type of supplier you are to them. The quadrant you see down here is the tactical quadrant. This is the quadrant that all procurement people would have you believe as a seller that you actually exist in. It's a quadrant that is particularly characterized by being of low value, low risk to the customer, and there are many, many alternative suppliers in this quadrant. In other words, you're easily replaceable and you have no pricing power. The second quadrant here is the leverage quadrant. And again, this is similar low-risk products, but this time you're being purchased on a large scale. So many suppliers will actually trade off price to get access to the larger share of wallet or a larger commitment of volume over a larger period of time. The third quadrant is the critical quadrant. The critical quadrant is a place where you can start to have some pricing power. And the reason is that there are often fewer suppliers that can supply this particular group of products. And quite often, there are some stringent requirements that you must meet in order for that product to be purchased, either government regulations, technical requirements, or some other strategic supply consideration. The strategic quadrant is a quadrant which procurement would have you believe does not exist, but in fact it certainly does. And our job as sellers is to try and discover whether we actually exist in the strategic quadrant. The strategic quadrant is really about high value products or services with fewer suppliers, with absolutely stringent requirements upon that supply. That could mean that there's government regulation involved. It could mean that there's high levels of specification and technical specifications, or it could mean some kind of supply chain or logistics concern that precludes others from actually supplying you. What's important to remember with each of these quadrants is that there is a different executive or persona behind each one. In the tactical quadrant sits your procurement manager or your procurement team. In the critical quadrant, quite often there is a technical manager. In the leverage quadrant, quite often you'll see a CFO or an operations director. And in the strategic quadrant, you'll quite often find the executive C-suite themselves or the CEO and the board, meaning that this is of such a high concern that it's at a board level and nothing can go wrong. So they're not prepared to trade off quality for price. And your procurement or buying agent would have you believe that you exist in this tactical quadrant only. The challenge for you is to understand the need states of the different personas that exist in each of these quadrants. And that comes through asking questions, gaining access, and building a complete picture of value. If you'd like more information about how to improve your negotiation power and how to move out of the tactical quadrant, please feel free to get in touch with Pricing Insight.